All right, we are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to another Monday Night Chill stream. It is Halloween. I guess it's the Halloween chill stream, right? Not that I'm a big Halloween guy, but anyway, it's time to do a show. It's time to talk about some stuff that was going on, and so let's do that. Tonight's show title, Noahide Dreams. I was thinking about this and the ongoing Kanye saga. The I had said last year or earlier in the year that movie Blade Runner 2049 was one of the best movies I'd ever seen, and everybody in the so-called dissident right was like, no, it sucked, blah 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 blah. That's really, you said that because you're fucking stupid. The theme of that movie, the narrative of that movie, is that the elites want a perfect race of slaves that never ever rebel or never revolt. And they think they've achieved it. And then, of course, it goes wrong. Great fucking movie because that narrative fits this time perfectly. The problem is a lot of, the intellectual types, they don't like movies. They don't like moving pictures. I talk about that Richard Spencer 27-second Richard Spencer video, which is too long for you to fucking invest any time in, where it's too confusing. There's too many moving parts, and you don't like that. It's scary because stuff moves. You just like fucking little words on a page that don't move very much, and that gives you a sense of calm and control. But if shit's moving, if there's a dynamism, if there's a liveliness, you're fucking terrified. And so, because you're incapable of dealing with a dynamic situation where you have to learn to make decisions, you're more comfortable in the library, which is probably where you should stay. You dream of a world that is somehow going to come about by people who are actually good at doing shit and deciding on the fly, making decisions and taking actions. And then, I don't know, I guess you think you're going to write the history of it or come out when it's all over. You know what I mean? When the dust is settled, and you're going to tell the fucking winners how, really you were responsible for this whole thing because you were keeping the flame of their ideology alive or some shit while you were hiding in the library. I don't know what the fuck you're going to think. But the world more and more now is just super dynamic and it's super moving, and there's video everywhere, and it's going to be flowing into your head. And if you don't know how to figure it out, if you don't know how to screen it and how to look at it and understand what you're seeing, you're going to get washed away. And that's, to be honest, a lot of people are going to get washed away. Where's the first thing I wanted to show? First thing I wanted to show, and this I wanted to mention, there's the guy who came here. I think he was, I think he's a friend of Judas Flight Shy. I think he's a friend of Judas Flight Shy. And he, what's his name? Vuhi or whatever. I can't remember what the fuck his screen name was. But he was arguing with me about, Adidas is not going to drop Kanye because they make too much money with him. And this, you people don't fucking understand the power of relationship. The spokesperson for Adidas is not the one that controls any fucking thing at Adidas. They just hire him to be the happy face of the sneaker company, or whatever you want to call them, athletic shoes, tennis shoes, whatever. People are always going to buy, listen to me, especially in the ghetto, they're going to buy sneakers, they're going to buy kicks, trainers, whatever you want to call them. They're always going to do that. It doesn't matter who sells them. You know what I mean? They're always going to do that. They're not suddenly to switch over to fucking wingtip Oxfords. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. Why is this not working? What is going on here? What is going on here? That's not the way I want it to work. Let's try again. Let's see if this just comes up. That's better. That's a little better now. Get the Boomer Tech, which nobody sends me money from Patreon, which I don't have a Patreon. But even if I did, nobody would send me money because I don't know. They're just not going to send me money. Everybody's like, yeah, fuck you, James. You know what? You're not. We're not opening our wallets to you. You say mean things to us all the time, and it's true. I do say mean things. But that guy who was Judas Flight Shy's buddy, I think, VU, what the fuck was his name? Anyway, he said, Adidas is never going to drop Kanye because they make too much money with him. You don't understand who makes the money, and you don't understand who controls the fucking money. So here's the story. Adidas to end Kanye West partnership after controversies. It doesn't matter who the fucking spokesperson is. Black people in the ghetto are not going to start wearing wingtip Oxfords. They used to wear, back in the days, Timberland work boots, Tims. At least the kids out, the dudes out selling crack in front of the projects used to wear them. But they're not going to change their footwear. And it really doesn't matter which Negro pitches the footwear. You know what I mean? They'll just put some other black dude there. They're like, hey, random black sports star that we never heard of. Do you want to be the new face of Adidas? We'll give you X million dollars. And of course they'll jump at it because it's $1 million to pretend that you like sneakers, that you know, and who knows, maybe you even actually like sneakers. But VU was wrong, and he won't admit that he's wrong. I'll try to ban him. I'm going to ban him if he ever shows up again. Because if you're wrong and you don't admit you're wrong, I find this too offensive to me. This is offensive to me. If you're wrong, you don't admit you're wrong. How are you different? How are you different from any other fucking lowlife, right? Everybody here pats themselves on the back, flattering themselves how different they are because, oh, I look at this edgy content, or I do this, or I do that. You know, if you behave the same way as the people you despise, you are you're not going to be here, right? Going to curate a space that I want. So if you're wrong, you go, listen, guys, I got it wrong. Dudes, I got it wrong. And sorry, I'll try and do better next time. If you can't do that, since I'm the only guy who's ever been fucking wrong on the internet, if you can't do that, who needs you? Who fucking needs you to fuck up and pretend you didn't fuck up? You fuck up and you go, oh shit, I fucked up. I got that wrong. Guys, sorry, man. I'll do better next time. Or here's what I missed, or whatever. Are people going to fucking roast you? Yeah, they'll probably roast you a little bit, but you got to man up. And if you don't, you get booted. You know what I mean? This is my clubhouse, and I get to decide who's here and who's not here. So V Hugh, if he shows up again, he's banned. I try to go back and ban him from the other shows. Try to look through the live chat to just pre-ban him before the show, but I can't fucking find them. So I don't know, and I don't know why I can't find them. I'm finding accounts I never saw before. The people, there was one show where VQ was put like 50 fucking messages in the chat. I'm like, I got to be able to find that one. Can't find it. Oh well. So yeah, Adidas controls who their spokesman is. They don't give a shit if it's Kanye or fucking Nicki Minaj or fucking Chris Rock. They don't give a fuck who it is. They have the check. He who writes the check has the fucking power. That's what I try to fucking tell you people over and over, but you don't seem to want to listen. Because you live off your fucking parents or wealth created by fucking others, you don't understand, you don't want to look directly at where the fucking power is, because that would, I don't know, give you bad feels or something like that, but don't really care. Really don't care. Here's something I meant to show a couple of weeks ago. A little bit. When was this? When did I see this? October 18th. So it's only like 10 days old. It's really only like 10 days old. But I don't sit here doing a doom and gloom thing just because I think it's fun for me. You know what I mean? Or I have a particular obsession for it. I don't. A lot of people who they signal this stuff. They kind of show you, it is true that they can't keep their mouths shut, and they tend to show you what they're going to do before they do it. Problem is there's too many moving parts, and you're looking at too many different things, and you don't catch it. Gary Cohn, member of the tribe, IBM vice chairman and former chief economic advisor to Donald Trump, warned that significant job losses are necessary to get inflation under control. This is Tuesday, October 18th, so a couple of weeks ago. So you see, inflation is bad, and in order to cure inflation, we have to make you unemployed. This is the guy who used to advise Donald Trump, his chief top economic advisor, right? And he's now the vice chairman of IBM. I don't even know what IBM does anymore. They used to make typewriters, then they make computers, and now they do, I don't know what the fuck they do. But see, inflation is caused by waiters. It's caused by people having jobs. It's caused by everything under the sun except the money printer, right? The money printer somehow magically does not cause inflation, printing all that extra, all those extra paper bills, all that extra digital dough into these accounts. That has nothing to do with inflation. You know what I mean? Inflation is too many people with jobs. That's bad. And, people with jobs like waiter, because, being on your fucking feet for 6 or 12 hours a day, hustling, making sub-minimum wage and hoping that people don't skip out on the fucking check. Yeah, that's the guy that's driving inflation, right? They just fucking, they piss on your leg and tell you it's raining, right? And people buy into this, and they expect you to just comply. And that's the Noahide dream, right? Where you dare to insult a Jew and he gets to chop your head off. You know what I mean? That's the world they're trying to create, and that's the world they're creating. You got two types of Jews, right? You got the religious Jews that say, well, God chose us special to be the special people, and you were born to be our slaves. God wants you to be our slaves. And you think, wow, that's a pretty sucky worldview, man. What about those other guys over there? Then you got the communist Jews who were like, we're going to create a world where there's no money. You go to work every day for no money because money is capitalist. Capitalism is evil. So, what is the difference between the two? You know what I mean? What's it? The communist ones probably eat ham and don't go to temple on Saturday, and the religious ones don't eat ham, and they do go to temple on Saturday. But the ultimate, you're going to work for us for no money comes from both sides, right? It comes from both sides, and so it's the kosher sandwich of kosher sandwiches, as they say, and that people don't seem to want to notice that is not good. But let's talk about some stuff. What stuff should we talk about, man? What stuff should we talk about? Okay, let's talk about this. I mentioned this on Twitter. The really the oldest, the lamest of things, but this, even with I guess it's easier to do with a static image, and this is a static image I'm going to show you, obviously, because I can't show video because I'm running this holding off a 7-year-old Android phone, and that limits my bandwidth. It really, really, really limits my bandwidth. So this was from today or yesterday. I don't remember what the fuck it was. It's way too much stuff. I spend too much time looking at Twitter. Okay, blah 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 blah. For the Florida State extremism and anti-Semitism in Florida, 2022, an ADL report. So, and you have an ADL report of extremism and anti-Semitism. This is from September 13th, 13/9. So here it is. First off, this is extremism in Florida. Remember, Florida has had no mask mandate for 2 years. Florida is the only place you can go where you don't have to wear a mask, and you never have in 2 years. When Donald Trump lost the presidency, he went to Florida because he doesn't want to be seen not wearing a mask. He doesn't want to fucking pretend to wear a mask. He's just going to go to Florida where you don't have to wear a mask. But these guys all masked up, each and every one of them, masked up to the hilt. That's not a clue, from the jump. Like, hey, something wrong here. Secondly, all the pre-printed signs. They got the happy merchant. They're masked up. They're all white guys. None of them have visible tattoos. If you look at their arms, they have no visible tattoos, and that's kind of important for federal law enforcement. Local cops, city cops, county cops, whatever, town police, they can be tatted up pretty heavily sometimes. I've seen cops with like full sleeve tattoos. But at the federal level, I've never seen feds with tattoos. They don't want them to have tattoos because you can be identified from your tattoos. Those guys have no tattoos at all. So covered face, no tattoos, kind of a dead giveaway, right? They're supposed to be crude, angry, Jew-hating neo-Nazis that live in a trailer, but they have no tattoos. How do you not have tattoos when you are living in a trailer and you're just an angry domestic terrorist who hates Jewish people just because they're smarter than you and they work harder? They're smarter than you and they work harder, and that's why they're successful. And no other reason. You crazy Hitler worshiping Florida person. And no one even stops to ask, hey, wait a minute. Didn't the rednecks fight in World War II? The answer is, yeah, they did. Did they fight against Germans? Yeah, they did. Why would their grandchildren worship their grandfather's enemies? Like, why would that happen? Anyway, a close-up of the flag. As I tweeted out, of course, the flag still has creases in it. The red flag, the National Socialist flag of whatever, still has creases in it because they just took it out of the packaging that morning. If you go to this on Twitter and you look at the blue flag in the background, the blue flag background looks like a normal flag that you've used a bunch of times, but this one, of course, still has the creases, the very sharp rectangular creases, and dudes, white dudes, masks with the happy merchant signs or whatever, all this stuff. This is how the FBI spends your money. This is how the FBI spends your money. So there isn't much you can do with it. Nothing we can do about this, like, ever. And everybody was hoping like Elon Musk was going to save shit with Twitter. You forget that Elon Musk owns SpaceX. SpaceX primarily launches satellites for like the CIA. You know what I mean? They launch satellite. The CIA wants a satellite launch. They call SpaceX. They call Elon. How do you think that Twitter is not now? Because you think about these other platforms. Facebook, they clamped down. They just eliminated entire groups. Facebook's not that interactive. It's not that dynamic. So Facebook is largely shut down. Instagram is for morons. TikTok is for morons. If you want to find people who are talking about becoming a domestic terrorist, Twitter's the only place it's going to be. It's the only place you're going to see people with whatever they're thinking. They're gonna put it out there. So you need Twitter to be alive for them to do their intel gathering operations, or whatever the fuck they're going to do. So that's why Elon buys this fucking, buys Twitter, and he's best friends with a guy. What was the guy's name? Mike Griffin or something like that, who's literally the head of the CIA's In-Q-Tel arm, where they invest in various different technology startups. And he and Elon traveled to Russia post not that long ago to try and buy Russian ballistic missiles. You know what I mean? Which, of course, the Russians didn't sell them because they're like, excuse me, Mr. Musk, you're actually sitting with the CIA guy right next to us. We're not going to sell you our missiles. But people still naively believe that Elon's going to save Twitter. The bots are still there. It's still total shit. It's a fucking 100% of a shit show, and it's not getting better. So, for everyone who thought that was going to happen, I don't know. I don't know why you thought that was going to happen, because there's no indication that Billy care about the First Amendment. They're not that into the First Amendment. This guy's a good guy. I think he's an English guy, and he did a bit of a deep dive on not our friends, but in looking at social media, big tech, Silicon Valley, there's been a flood of new employees, and they're all employees from the Israeli Army Unit 8200, which is their cyber warfare unit. So hundreds, plural, hundreds of Israeli operatives for the infamous intelligence outfit Unit 8200 are now working in the highest echelons of big tech companies like Google, Microsoft, Facebook, and no doubt Twitter. This is a story from today, October 31st, 2022. So it's from mintpressnews.com. They're working at Google, Facebook, Amazon. They're working everywhere. They see everything you do, and they have their crappy, the same horrible fucking shitty fucking ops. Here's one of their accounts. I think I blocked the account. But you don't understand how it is for them to just mimic, even stupid government employees, even stupid foreign government employees from Israel can figure this shit out. You know what I mean? It probably takes them 5 years, but they can figure it out. You're not smart enough to figure it out because you are stuck on a brand, right? You have this stupid ideology that leads you around by the fucking nose. That's nothing but failure. And you refuse to look at that. So this account, what's the name? Fash Gordon. See, Fascist Gordon. At Real Fash Gordon. The USS Liberty was an accident. And then he's quoting someone else, another account that's a crate, probably not spam. That's like, it's whatever. So the Mossad quoting the CIA or who the fuck knows. But he's fashy. He's a fascist. You're a fascist. He's a fascist. It's fascist in Florida. They're running around doing Hitler salutes and carrying pictures of the happy merchant. And they just took their Hitler flag out of the packaging. So it's got, perfect square creases in it, So, and they're walking around Florida with masks, the only state where you don't need a mask and haven't needed a mask for 2 years. Virgil Doc Purple Heart, welcome to the show, sir. Welcome to the show. So the point of showing you these static images is so you can understand that there's wrong things here. It's more difficult, like I've said, in the idea of selective attention. You focus on this thing and you miss the other parts that are moving in the background. And people don't like that. The original video was two people, one people, a black group in black t-shirts, group in white t-shirts. See how many times they pass the basketball back and forth between each other. And you're like, oh, I can do this. I'll watch the white t-shirt guys pass the basketball, the other one catch it. And in the middle of this basketball game, is a guy in a monkey suit, a guy in a gorilla suit, walks right into the middle of the game, pounds his chest, and walks away. And about 50% of the people who watch that video don't see the monkey. They don't see the guy in the monkey suit. You're like, how the fuck is that even possible? How did you not see the monkey? Because you're busy looking. Here, 1, 2, 3, white t-shirt. He's got the ball, 5, 6, 7. Selective attention. That's why that stupid, whatever, the Richard Spencer video. Like, I picked that one because it's 27 seconds. There's so many things wrong in there. But there's enough stuff moving, and they know this. Just move a bunch of shit in the background. Move the camera like this, like that. Wiggle the camera and make you think something's happening that's not happening, or literally shift your focus by shifting where the camera looks. And it's such simplistic manipulations, but it works. And it works every time because of selective attention. So you got your heart set that this person is going to rescue you. It's going to be Donald Trump, or it's going to be Barack Obama. It's going to be whatever. Well, Obama was somewhere trying to pump up Biden's numbers with a whole group of tons of black people. I didn't see this on Twitter. Gab. And they started to chant a fuck Joe Biden. And Obama, who's really like owning the crowd, particularly a crowd of black people, like he tried to get them back, and man, did they fucking drag him. He got the shit kicked out of him. But that's floating around. That's floating around a gap. It's not showing up on Twitter. But so it's they really don't have control of this that they think they do, unless they just put up the video and then tell you what it means, and then they vanish so that no one can hear about it or argue it or question it. Because if you question any of these things, very easy to pull in it. Here's a great fucking example. And I was DMing somebody about this very short time ago. A guy used to work on Wall Street who's not really hip to the JQ. He probably thinks I'm a little bit of a whack job with this, but he's not dumb. And he was a football guy. But this was a story out of England, right? So supposedly a 28-year-old Englishman who's angry about the immigration situation and all these Twitter stories about these Africans coming boatloads, hundreds at a time, coming into England, supposedly at one of these refugee welcome centers. This guy drove up in his car and tossed like 1 or 2 Molotov cocktails at these poor, innocent, starving Africans who were just trying to make a better life for themselves in England. And then he killed himself, I guess, because he couldn't live with himself. But so it says, you see in the center a white car with a blue tarp over it, and it's on the side of the road somewhere in England. And it said, the Dover suicide bomber, petrol firework bomber, is said to have hung himself inside his car, right? So this guy drives up to a refugee center, tosses out 2 Molotov cocktails, and then just stops the car like this and decides to hang himself inside his car. Yes, you heard that right. He hung himself inside his car. And then the first response is the Epstein Manual of Impossible Events. Now, do they really believe this? No, but they can do whatever the fuck they want to do, and they're in a fuck stop them. They can say whatever they want to say, and you cannot ridicule them. They have full spectrum dominance, and you're too fucking stupid to understand that. You're sitting there thinking, if we just find the right way to rehabilitate Hitler as the fucking good guy in World War II, everyone's gonna piss on their grandfather's fucking grave and start fucking throwing up Roman salutes and doing whatever, and then we're gonna make the Jews drop the keys to the money printer, run back to Tel Aviv, and we're gonna make all the blacks swim back to fucking Africa with a Jew strapped to their back. That's not going to happen, right? You're living in a dream world. You're living in a fucking dream world as much as anyone else, all right? More than anyone else. People who believe shit that they see in the fucking movies are smarter than you. You know, people who believe shit that they see in fucking karate movies are smarter than you, okay? They're much smarter than you. Let's do this one instead. See, they put things in front of you deliberately, obviously to manipulate how you feel. But when you understand how shit really works, this doesn't have any effect on you. You get over it, and they know what pushes your fucking buttons. They absolutely know what pushes your buttons. And there's so much of it out there that they can just scoop up. They can scoop the shit up at any time, any place. By the way, I have no fucking alcohol. This is going to be like, look, 2 waters I have. That way I don't get dehydrated halfway through the stream and pass out. But here's a great story. You know, you have to understand how this shit really works. And if you don't understand how it works, this story makes you crazy, right? It pisses you off. It says charges, man severely beat woman for wearing American flag t-shirt. When was this? October. This was from a couple weeks ago. October 6th, right? So you see the good boy. He didn't do nothings. And this like pisses off. This is to piss off the MAGA crowd. The Donald Trump's going to save us crowd. A white person wearing a fucking flag shirt. You know, and everyone gets enraged over it, but it has nothing to do with it. It's a symbol or whatever. You know, some dope's wearing a flag shirt, whatever. And this guy saw a likely victim, you know, and he's a predator and they're fucking prey. And that's what it is. That's what drives this. This guy has no complex thoughts about the flag, its meaning, you know, symbolism. He's a fucking guy. The guy can't spell the word, you know, patriotic symbolism. He doesn't. If you told him you would let him he could spell the words patriotic and symbolism, he just look at you, go fuck it, throw away the key. I'm not getting out. You know what I mean? But that headline is designed to manipulate you. Actually, it does. This is just another day where a vulnerable person, you know, somebody who's looking to get revenge for perceived wrongs. You know, and I'm not talking about 400 years of slavery. His boss made him fucking take out the fucking trash or something. So, you know, and he doesn't have to make it easier to know how to fight. That's what that's really about. And if you see it as anything more complex than that, you're a fucking dummy. You're just an absolute dummy. You know, and they want to make you till you get like this. Here's these guys. This is this has got to be way more common. And this is the world you're going to live in. This is the world you're going to walk around in, whether you like it or not. I don't care where you are. This is everywhere. I just saw right before Showtime that they're considering. Chuck Schumer's talking about legislation decriminalize marijuana and help empty prisons. They're gonna anybody convicted of a marijuana related drug charge, they're going to have their sentences vacated, and I'm sure they'll get millions and millions of fucking dollars in compensation somewhere down the road. You won't read about that right away, but it'll definitely happen. They'll sue for wrongful prosecution or malicious prosecution or something like that, and they'll get a shit ton of fucking money. So not only will the drug dealers be on the street again, but they will have zero convictions, and they will have money that's stolen from the public treasury. You know what I mean? Although a lot of it will go to their lawyers, they'll still get some. So, New York Post from October 22nd, San Diego, California, emergency room seeing up to 37 marijuana cases a day, mostly psychosis. Marijuana these days, insanely powerful fucking drug. It's harmless little fun weekend drug in the 70s and fucking 80s. It is a crazy powerful fucking drug. And it's causing people to have psychotic breaks everywhere. And you might run across one of these people, and hopefully you'll have a good idea of what you're going to do when you do come across someone who's having a fucking psychotic episode because they fucking party too fucking hardy on the weekend. Bobby Fischer, 88, you're all over the place as usual. Try picking a topic and sticking to it for a while. Hey, Bobby Fischer. Pick a topic. Pick a topic. The topic is, come on. What am I doing here? The topic is my fucking show, and I'll do what the fuck I want to do. Who the fuck are you? Bye-bye. Hammer swings, and the show moves on. I don't know who the fuck Bobby Fischer is. You know what I mean? Who the fuck is Bobby Fischer? When I see, part of the reason about having a 53 subscriber base YouTube channel is I'm pretty familiar with like who shows up in the chat and who doesn't show up in the chat. So I see a new name in the chat. Who the fuck are you? How did you get in here? Who do you know? You know what I mean? This comes from my understanding of criminal behaviors. You know what I mean? If you wanted to borrow money off the street, if you want to go to a loan shark, you hear loan shark this, loan shark that. Most of you don't know how it works. But if you don't know the guy, if you don't actually know the guy, you have to get somebody to introduce you to him. And they have to say, hey, listen, this guy's an okay guy, loan him money. Now, that's a bad idea because if the person with the loan skips out, the person who made the introduction gets is on the hook to pay it off. So you really don't okay people. But my question is, who the fuck is he? Who is he? I see a new name in the chat. Who brought you here? Why are you fucking here? How did you get here? Who are you? You know what I mean? From where do I know you? I know people on fucking Twitter for years and years and years. From where do I know you? I don't know. Judas Sly Chai, the base Persian Michelin guy. Isn't VQ your friend, Mr. Base Persian Michelin guy? I believe VQ, is that right? VQ, what the fuck is his name? I don't know. Anyway, I'm banning him if he shows up. He will also receive some Banhammer love. He will also receive some Banhammer love. Okay. Let's have a spot of good news, James. Just a teeny tiny bit of good news, for Christ's sake. Will you please, just a little bit of brightness? You're so dark, so dark. But I guess that guy, Bob Fischer, he can't focus, he can't concentrate. Right? Short attention span. Short attention span. VQ is your friend. VQ was entirely wrong about. I didn't ban him yet. As soon as he shows up, I'm gonna ban. I can't find this fucking account to ban. But the reason why I'm gonna ban him when he shows up, or when I can find his little avatar somewhere. Because he said Adidas wouldn't drop Kanye because they make too much money with him. He was 100% wrong, and he doesn't admit he's wrong. If you don't admit you're wrong, you get kicked out of the clubhouse. That's pretty simple rule. If you're wrong, you go, oh shit, I was wrong, man. So I will ban him as soon as he shows up, or if I can. I'm kind of lazy. I'm not really going to dig back through too many old shows to look through the chat. I looked through a couple, but I didn't fucking see him for whatever reason. So I'll ban him next time. I'm like a procrastinator. I can do it in the moment, but you come here and tell me I'm wrong. You tell me Adidas is not going to drop Kanye because they make too much money with him. You're fucking 100% wrong. You have to say, oops, sorry, guys. I was wrong. Okay. Enough. That is way more explanation than the whole thing deserves. This is Nano as the world's most popular hardware wallet to securely start your crypto journey. The Ledger hardware wallet, now available at Walmart. That is one of the devices. There are other devices, but they're now available at Walmart. They are now available at Walmart. So walk into your local Walmart and find a way to secure your Bitcoin. This is becoming more and more mainstream. Judas Flychai. Oh, so he said the sun rises in the west. Yes, he did. He did. And there has to be in life a consequence. I live by consequences all the fucking time, man. Non-stop consequences in my life. And there has to be a consequence, or there will be no learning. There will be no learning. Here's somebody who suffered a consequence. That is going to be. This is those things that will never. I can't believe how this fucking happened. The world must be full of like the shittiest fucking lawyers on God's fucking green earth. How the fuck this one and pill pulled, groped? What are you, a sexually abused person? That's literally probably Bobby Fischer coming right back. That's the Bobby Fischer Fed coming right back with one of his sock accounts. Thinking how clever he is. Oh, I'm so clever. If you mess with the Jays, you're going to regret it. Yeah. I do it every week, bro. Do it every week. And what has happened? What has befallen me? You know what I mean? I went in homeless and starving, living in the park, and now I have this beautiful one-bedroom apartment in New Jersey. I'm moving up in life. I used to live in a cardboard box. and drink Thunderbird, cheap fortified wine. Now I'm in an apartment. I got a flag behind me. I got water. I got way more than this Fed in the chat is. You ain't gonna listen. Reach out and touch whoever you think you're gonna reach out and touch. See what happens. Okay. This story was one I like. This is gonna get overturned in 2 seconds, but good boy who didn't do nothing breaks into somebody's house, starts attacking the woman who lives in the house. Her son, pictured here, picks up a kitchen knife and stabs the dude. He ends up getting arrested and thrown in jail by the judge for excessive violence. And this is something you have to understand. This is just to punish this kid. It's to not just to keep him in county jail, but to throw him into the prison system for daring to fight back against the fucking Negro. And this is what you got to understand is going to happen to you. Even in jail, even in prison, nobody wants their cell violated. Like the prisoners have to put up with their cell, like corrections officers coming into their cell. But if you even look into their fucking cell and you're not their friend and you're not welcome, they consider that a home invasion for their cell, believe it or not. And they fucking get you for that. No one on God's green earth is going to convict you of fucking defending your family inside your fucking home. That's just not going to happen, except it happened in this case. And this is done specifically to send a fucking message. To punish this kid for daring to fucking fight back. He fought back too much. He didn't kill the fucking dindu, and he used a knife. Thank God he didn't use a fucking gun. But this is done specifically to fucking punish. And when I say we don't control the courts, the police, or the fucking prisons, this is what I'm talking about. And he gets thrown in prison, and it's going to be, I don't know how soon how soon until he gets his appeal, 18 months. He's going to have to do like fucking 18 months. But eventually, I guess he'll be the richest fucking dude in the trailer park. He'll be able to sue for malicious prosecution. You know what I mean? And whatever. He'll be able to sue the prison system and actually legit get compensated because there's literally no reason to charge him with any crime. Good luck with the Bitcoin. Don't need luck. I don't depend on the government like you. I actually fund the fucking government you work for. So it's not about luck, chump. But you're too stupid. You're too stupid to understand that. Where are we at? What was this one? Yeah, okay. Yeah, this fits perfectly. Our new friend groped and pill pulled. Groped and pill dropped, or whatever the fuck he is. Groped. That's what Nicholas Fuentes, the gay Catholic monarchist, or whatever the fuck he is. Cat boy. A cat boy dude. Do you listen? How do you come up with these crappy screen names? Do you just put all random alt-right words in a fucking hat and pull them out and go, that's going to be my screen name? So here's a perfect example. Good luck with Bitcoin. So American workers are earning just 12 cents more now than in the 1970s when adjusted for inflation. This is stories from October 28th, 2022. So from the 1970s to now, adjusting for inflation, you're making 12 cents an hour. What was the minimum wage in the 1970s? It was like $2.50. So now you're making $2.62. Again, adjusting for inflation. So yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do a lot better with Bitcoin than fiat. In fact, I'm already doing a lot better with Bitcoin than fiat. But if you'd have held US dollars from the 1970s to today, you would have gone nowhere. You would have gone nowhere. However, it could be worse. You are basically in the strongest. You have the strongest set of slave coupons. You know what I mean? That's what you have. That's what we have, because central bankers print the money, and your government forces you to use that money. They decide how much they print, when they print, and who they're going to give it to, right? And they use, when it's initially printed and it's fresh, they use it to buy real fucking things of value, and you get stuck with the inflation. Right? You get stuck with the inflation, and you stupidly think that, rice and beans Hitler or some come and fucking rescue you. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Uh-oh. We're really we're getting probably roboting pretty bad. What if I did that? Literally, the only people that would sit through this show are like true believers or fucking feds. You know what I mean? There's nobody else would sit through this other than fucking true believers or feds. You know what I mean? That's it's an uphill climb. It's every single one of these is a seriously uphill crime. What? It's not a crime. Okay, so here's a picture of $1 in Venezuelan bolivars. So that big pile of paper at the top, those are Venezuelan bolivars. That's what they call their money after Simon Bolivar. That's the number of bolivars you get for $1. So the dollar is still the king. It's the king of slave coupons, but it's still so. Enjoy it while it lasts, but I promise you that dollar, there will someday, we don't have a picture of Bitcoin, there will someday be a Bitcoin at the bottom, and above it will be the pile of dollars, thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. We're already at 19,000 for one Bitcoin, but it'll be way more soon. Bitcoin will replace that dollar. Chasing endlessly Bitcoin, because once they do what I think they're going to do. So let's talk about that. The entire year, where is it? This one, yeah. And I what it looks like is going to happen, because this October. Just went by. This October was the best October in stock market in the last 100 years or something. News, Google misses its number, blah, 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 blah. Gasoline higher, inflation everywhere. How the fuck is the stock market going up? I've said that I think what they're going to do is they're going to crash the stock market like 80 or 90%. Most people say, well, I'm not in the stock market, so I don't care. But whether you're in the stock market or you're not in the stock market, it's perceived as a couple of things out of this. One, they're going to get to blame the Republicans, because this is going to happen by next week, or it ain't going to fucking happen. Like, everybody votes Republican, they crash the market, and then the Republicans are shit scared. And then, of course, they get all the brown people. They say the reason why you're unemployed and you're starving is because white people crash the stock market and you have no job. So you should go kill white people. And some brown people really will try and do that. The story from a couple of weeks ago, fragile treasury market is at risk of large-scale forced selling. The treasury market is government debt. So if people lose faith in government debt, they've really lost faith in everything. If they panic and start selling their treasury bills, their treasury notes, their bonds, that's going to be crazy. Now, does Bank of America really think it's going to happen? I don't know. But, they're saying that the largest sovereign debt market in the world is like October 20th. But I think they're going to crash the stock market, blame MAGA Republicans, because they're still blaming MAGA Republicans for everything. And then they're going to push through a bunch of shit, get pushed through. But it's going to allow them to do a couple of things. They're going to reset. Come back in a couple of years, the stock market will come back, and the problem with Wall Street now is you can only cheat people Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 4 in the afternoon. Like, you know what I mean? That's the only time the Wall Street can rob people is Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 4. And they want to, plus you got to stop on holidays. They want to rob people 24/7, 365. You really got to suck that fucking value out of people. And the way to do that is with crypto, because crypto runs 24/7, 365. But they're going to kill this market and bring it back as the crypto / stock market integrator thing or whatever. The stock market goes the way of the boomer, and the crypto Wall Street is there to constantly keep you on the edge of starvation and homelessness. That's what I think they're going to do. But if it doesn't happen in the next fucking 10 days, it ain't going to happen. But I think that's the plan. You know, is it, like I said, if it doesn't happen in a couple of days, then I was wrong. So I will be wrong again. And I'm going to admit it now in advance so I don't have to ban myself. But there was the other story, the Paul Pelosi story, the hammer story. It makes you wonder, like, if that guy didn't fucking take a hammer to Pelosi's fucking husband, because maybe like these are hippie fucking whack job. But do you think they were getting stock tips from Nancy Pelosi? Do you think that they were like getting stock tips? You know what I mean? Because they're all extreme leftists, and of course they all, maybe Nancy said no more stock tips. And this guy went to the Pelosi house and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Where's Nancy? I want to talk to her. You know what I mean? I want to break her kneecaps until she gives me stock tips again. That's something I never heard anybody say. Is it a gay sex thing? Is it not a gay sex thing? Oh, fucking could be. But Mr. Pelosi is kind of old to want to, like, people that old aren't really, I don't think they're that sexual, and his health doesn't look good. But who knows? Who the fuck knows? But no one's come up with the Nancy Pelosi. By the way, Nancy Pelosi, the only stock market investor on the planet Earth who has outperformed Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin has outperformed every asset everywhere, with the exception of Nancy Pelosi's portfolio. Was he a rando or not? Of course not. You can't get into that fucking neighborhood. You can't go into these fucking neighborhoods without people knowing who you are. How did he get in and how did he get out? You know what I mean? You park a vehicle that doesn't fucking belong on that street at night. You know what I mean? No. Everybody's gone. All the landscapers, they're all gone by fucking 5 o'clock. Everything's gone when you go through those fucking neighborhoods. There's security everywhere. Everybody's got security. There's security cameras all over that place. And you're never going to see any of that footage ever, ever, ever. None of the neighbors' footage. You're not going to see the body cam footage from the cops. And trust me, those cops had body cams. You know what I mean? You're never going to see that. It's all just going to go away. The fact that they're pushing the narrative that this guy was a MAGA Republican, as ridiculous as it is, and then what was Biden was just saying something else about MAGA Republicans and election deniers. This is what makes me think they're going to crash the economy, like mega crash the economy next week, and blame MAGA Republican white people for all the black and brown unemployment. And then, but I don't know what they're going to do after that. But that's going to be their move. You know what I mean? And that's why everything under the fucking sun, you know what I mean, is going to be because of evil MAGA Republican white supremacist Donald Trump voters. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But you'll know by next week. To be honest, I thought it would have happened by now. But maybe they hold off the timing until after the election and make it appear like the two events are related, like one caused the other. Because a lot of people can't tell the difference between correlation and causality. You know what I mean? Correlation is not causality. But most of you, especially when there's moving parts, you don't get that. You know what I mean? If it's a book sitting still on the library table, you can kind of grasp it. But if there's moving parts, if there's things going around in the background, it makes you dizzy, hurt your brain or whatever. And then you just have to have faith that Hitler's going to come rescue you, or Richard Spencer is really the leader of the white race. Whatever the fuck you think, despite the fact that that's the most ridiculous thing anyone's ever heard. And I point that out again, not because I particularly give a fuck about Richard Spencer, but you need to know that these dudes, like, where is it? Is this the one? Or which one is it? I had two of these. And two. Yeah, here's a perfect example. It's a great example of why all of this, thinking that there's a mathematical reason, thinking that there's, a rationale, behind any of this stuff. They can just change it anytime they want. They can change any fucking thing anytime they fucking want. Here's a perfect example. The greatest fucking social media site ever right? The ultimate Uber fucking. You think that they know everything, but they don't. Meta spent 45 billion. That's billion with the B on stock buybacks last year at $330 a share. The stock is worth $100 today after a post-earnings crash. So they took all the free money that they get to buy back their own stock. Why do they do that? To pump up the stock price so they can exercise their stock options at the end of the year and make even more money. The problem is, between their fucking meta universe disaster project and everything else, enough people knew that the fucking stock was going under. Like, there's nothing there. Of course, they missed their number. Facebook missed their number, and the stock fucking crashed. But it doesn't mean anything. They'll get another $45 billion somewhere. They'll find investors. They'll come up with another shitty idea 2 years from now and get $100 billion for it. And Mark Zuckerberg, oh, look, there's Mark Zuckerberg with a sad face. Listen, none of his money was ever at risk. None of these people ever risk their money. It's always somebody else's money. It's investors' money. It's the money for a mutual fund. They don't put a nickel of their own money at risk. So they lose 45 billion. So what? Life is full of risk for the chumps, but for guys like this, there's no risk. You know what I mean? That a bunch of insiders, realize that, that Facebook was a disaster. That you can't even convince people to advertise on Facebook because in the last 2 years you got COVID. People can't even go out. Like, what are you going to advertise? What could you possibly advertise? And these people have endless fucking money. They have endless fucking money. There's no amount of money they don't have. There's no amount of money they don't have. They can spend whatever the fuck they want on whatever the fuck they want, and they'll get it back from the government. They'll get it back fucking nickel, not a nickel. And you aren't going to fight them, and you aren't going to fucking displace them, as long as you're using their slavery coupons. That's the point of what I'm writing. That's the point of why I say this. You know what I mean? You're going to have to fucking whatever. You're going to have to fucking offer yourself up and offer up your first fucking born in order to get sufficient slavery coupons to tell them to go fuck themselves. The only one who's done that is Kanye West, and God bless him. He's the only guy who ever made fuck you money who actually said fuck you. You know what I mean? Gavin McInnes, all these other fucking people, tons of people, Mel Gibson, they all have fuck you money, but none of them have the balls to say fuck you. So Kanye, being a Christian dude, I guess he really believes in the Christian stuff, between the fact that he still has at least $150 million, which keeps him from starvation and homelessness, and he has a belief system that says he deserved it for being too rich, he can still tell them, he can still call them out. He can still say fuck you, whereas Mel Gibson and anybody else doesn't have the fucking balls. Marlon Brando years ago doesn't have the balls. None of them do. None of them do. What's this one? Midterms are in 8 days. It's less than 8 days. Here are the largest donors so far in the 2022 midterms. George Soros, 120 million. Elizabeth and Richard Uline at over 80 million. Ken Griffin of Citadel, 70 million. Sam Bankman-Fried, he's the crypto billionaire, coughing up 50 million. And Mike Bloomberg coughing up 20 million. Now, are they really spending all this money? Probably not. They're laundering a bunch of it. It's a tax write-off. The IRS is never going to check to see if they spent it. They're going to tell the IRS. Michael Bloomberg's going to say he spent $20 million on local races and take it off his taxes, and no one's going to dare fucking audit him. No one's going to dare audit him. But the 5 top donors are all Jewish, and they're given $340 million for the midterms. That's a quarter. That's a third of $1 billion for the shitty elections that's coming up. Who believes that much money is being spent on what? What the fuck is it being spent on? And as you look down that graph, there's a lot of other different names in different amounts, but many of those names are kosher. The top 5 given $340 million. $340 million they can just give away. How are you going to fight that? Who's going to stop that? Who goes up against that? Nobody. That's why you opt out. You just get the fuck out of their system. As much as you can, step by step, trade your slavery coupons for fucking Bitcoin. That's what I'm doing. What you're doing is you're just waiting for the fucking FBI to fucking find the right meme to fucking trigger you before you go out and throw some petrol bombs at the fucking migrant center and then hang yourself in your car or whatever you're gonna do. Like I said, you guys aren't as smart as you fucking think you are. You aren't that fucking smart. Flash Gordon says some dumb shit. You have a bunch of FBI jerks doing fucking Hitler salutes in masks in Florida with the fucking flag still has the folds in it. And you fucking fall for it. And you fall for it every fucking time. They're going to weaponize, if they crash the market like I think they're going to next week, and I mean like mega crash. I'm not talking about 2 or 3%. I'm talking about 75%. And black people got to be unemployed, like Gary Cohn, the vice president of IBM, and Trump's former chief economic advisor says that millions of people got to be fired to get inflation. They're going to fire a lot of brown and black people. And then they're going to say it's the white MAGA Republicans' fault, and they're going to have them hunt you while they do other shit in the background. You know what I mean? It's going to be a party for them, and there ain't a fucking thing you can do to stop it except understand, one, how this shit really works, and two, what you can do to protect yourself. And the ultimate thing you can do to protect yourself, because most people aren't going to be victims of violence. Most of you aren't around. I mean, maybe there's some psycho going to walk in the shopping mall where you fucking live. You're going to be unlucky, but chances are that's not going to happen. But they will make you starving and homeless, right? That's what they're going to do to you. This whole idea that they're trying to distract you from shit. What was the other thing that's what I meant to think of? They're not trying to distract you from anything. They're going to make you starving and homeless and take everything, right? You distract yourself with bullshit. They don't give a fuck. They nonstop. They're doing their fucking thing. They're getting more. You're getting less. Their children get more. Your children get less. Their grandchildren get more. Your grandchildren get less. That's the fucking plan. That you waste time overthinking stupid shit. That's your fucking problem. Stop overthinking stupid shit. It's just stupid shit. The best fucking example, and you see this on Twitter all the time. I don't know what other platforms it's on. Sometimes I see it on Facebook. The Simpsons predicts the future. You seen that one? All you guys seen that one, right? Oh, The Simpsons, 2006. Here's what happened in 2012. Blah, 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 blah. The Simpsons predicts the future. Yeah. Really? Really? So your problem, the reason why you don't understand the world, right, is you're not watching enough cartoons. See, the key to understanding what the future is going to be is watch more television, particularly cartoons. That's the fucking key. See, if only you could have figured that out. Really. Watching more television is gonna fucking help you. Who pushes that fucking meme? Who would push that fucking meme? You're gonna watch a fucking hour-long cartoon for a 10-second fucking clip that that maybe 10 years from now might look like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You need to watch more cartoons. You need to watch more fucking TV. How much are they fucking laughing? You know what I mean? When they tell you that. But pothead millennials will believe it. Dude, I can watch The Simpsons enough, bro. We got to go back and watch old episodes. That's how fucking dumb you are. The goal is make everyone starving and homeless. Whether you're a religious Jew, you were born to fucking serve me, you were born to be my fucking slave. Slaves don't get paid. You're a communist Jew. We're going to create a world where you go to work every day for no money. It's the same outcome. The same outcome with the same people on top. Opt out. Do you understand? Opt out. Start now. Start now. You don't want to be in a position where the music stops and you don't have a fucking chair. And you right now you keep convincing yourself, oh no, it's far away from me, and maybe it is, but it's better to be prepared now. It's always better to be prepared for the bad thing before the bad thing happens, because when it does happen, this is what you're going to get, man. You're going to get here's where you're going to find yourself, and you don't want to find yourself. You really, really don't want to find yourself in this particular situation. It's fun. It's fun for you to watch the movies. Ain't going to be so much fun to live through. Ain't going to be so much fun to live through. Tell you right now. So you can watch all the Simpson cartoons you want to watch, hoping you can figure out which Simpson sketch correctly predicts the future. But the real future is that the U.S. dollar is going to end up like the Venezuelan bolivar. And then this is going to be it. You're going to be desperate to get into that fucking chopper, man. You're going to be like I said, you're going to be fighting some fucking dindu over a fucking packet of ramen noodles. You know what I mean? You're going to be fighting them to the fucking death over a fucking packet of fucking ramen noodles. And you know what? My money's on the fucking dindu. Be smarter, right? Don't let that outcome happen to you. Go to Walmart, pick up a fucking ledger. You know what I mean? They sell them at Walmart now. There's no excuse to not be able to trade your slave coupons for Bitcoin and get a cold storage device, an air-gapped cold storage device to protect it. There's no reason not to do that. Other than you think, well, someone's going to come and rescue me. You know what I mean? That you're a fairy tale princess. Maybe everyone in the chat is a fairy tale princess. Maybe you're old fucking Rapunzel with the fucking throwing your hair out the fucking window, waiting for Prince Charming to climb up your hair and rescue you. You know what I mean? But I really don't think you're a fairy tale princess that's going to be rescued. You got to rescue yourself. And what that looks like is make sure you don't end up starving and fucking homeless. That's rule number one. That's first principles. Reasoning from first principles. And you can never argue with anybody who says that. Reasoning from first principles, don't be starving and homeless. And the people that control your money want you starving and homeless, and there's a fucking thing you can do to stop them. They can do all these shitty federal ops. They can put people in fucking prison for defending their mothers in a home invasion. They're going to empty the prisons. Everybody that's on a weak conviction, but it'll be other than weak convictions. It'll be coke convictions. It'll be all sorts of other convictions. They'll let them all out of prison. They'll do a huge fucking expungement of all their fucking records. These people will be, they'll get an entirely new start on life, and all they're going to do is going to come out and they're going to do the same thing all over again. But martial law, hey, pretty good, Marshall. Listen, you, how long has your family been working in the security services in New Zealand? Is it like, you're like second generation? Your dad was first generation? How'd that work out? You got like an uncle that was in that stormed the beaches of Anzio or something like that, and then that got you your gig. Just curious. I'd love to know your family history, bro. That would be great. That would be awesome to know. Someday, after you've already written every bad thing Jews have ever done in the history of humanity. You've already written that book. So why don't you write the martial law family history? Gilbert Salgado. Oh, look at that's funny. I can vouch for Chris. He's no Fed. Chris, who's you talking about, Chris? There's no. I haven't called Chris a Fed, unless Chris is gripped and pill-pulled. But I guess Chris is gripped and pill-pulled. Who the fuck is Chris? And Gilbert, I think somebody from New York is more suspect than somebody from New Zealand. That is the shittiest fucking counter argument. Jesus fucking Christ. What do they teach in New Zealand schools? Martial is Chris. Martial law is Chris. Oh, so he pretends to be someone else. He pretends to be someone else on, that's good. Because there's what is it, like 4 million sheep and 300,000 people on fucking New Zealand, and you don't want to, he doesn't want to be found, he doesn't want to be tracked. Yeah, so whatever. These people are going to do whatever the fuck they want to do, and the only way to resist them, the only way to get out of it, is literally opt out of that fucking system. You don't believe it's possible because you haven't seen anyone do it, or you haven't seen enough people do it. And only one guy, Kanye West, has the balls to say, fuck you. You know what I mean? So most people, you're not the hero you think you are. You know what I mean? You're not the stand-up guy you fucking think you are. You know what I mean? You're going to go along to fucking get along, whatever that means. So, like I said, the music's going to stop. The music is going to fucking stop sooner or later. And you should have a chair. You know what I mean? You should definitely have a chair. So that's what I tell people. I don't know if they listen, or maybe they don't listen. But it's amazing that I get this level of fucking attention from the feds, like martial law and his he's the he's the field hand for Massa Norvin, right? Massa Norvin, if martial law plays his cards right, he can become a house nigger. But Marshall says he's Norvin's right-hand man, right? He was assigned to Norvin, right? So, which that's pretty funny. These people who are all smarter than me, they're more successful. They know they're going to come into a channel with 53 subscribers, right? They have nothing better to do with their fucking lives. Nothing better to do. You know what I mean? Like martial law goes out of his little fucking whatever, probably the fucking very nice home that the security services have provided his fucking family, and even the sheep don't want to have anything to fucking do with him. He's got to go on fucking line and pretend to be whatever the fuck he pretends to be. But why would you come here? Like literally, what would be the point of you coming here? Like, and it's the same shitty. He's a Fed, you're a suspect. The same shitty fucking stupid shit. Like you just read off a fucking federal script. Jesus Christ. Can you, is there nothing in like, I guess I understand you weren't bright to begin with. Like, I get that. You weren't the smartest kid in the class. You were like the bottom fucking 10th percentile, not the upper 10th percentile. You were the bottom 10 percentile. And you got a fucking government job, but I don't know. Does your brain just slowly die when all you're doing is just waiting for your next fucking government check? Martial law, you're getting death threats. Really? The sheep are rising up against them. Bah. It's getting death threats from who? You live in the middle of you live on the other side of the planet. You're not getting any death threats. No Nukes Marshall is an expert on the Jays. Yeah, because, there's I don't know. Yeah, the New Zealand, the Minister of Parliament said, back in the fucking 30s, that a central bank in New Zealand would be an act of treason. And he was right. Yes, nukes don't exist. And the top Nazis were Jews. Yeah, I don't even give a fuck. The top Nazis were Jews. That is just super interesting. That is super interesting. Right? That's so interesting. It's so fascinating. Like I said earlier, the band hammer swings and the show moves on. If nothing else, I'll make them tire out their little fingertips as they make a new sock account. as they make a new sock account to come back under a different name. And the way I know, I was just saying, if I see a name I don't recognize, right? And there used to be a guy, a Jewish guy from back in the day named Gilbert Salgado. But the guy one of the guys I just blocked is Gilbert Salgado. So you telling me this fucking stupid thing isn't being monitored? You know, that the guy sat there and said, okay, he just said X. I'm going to make an account with the name almost just like you're going to change one little word. Like, and I'm not supposed to get this. Usually I'm drinking out today. I'm just drinking water. But usually I'm relaxed. I'm drinking alcohol at the end of the week. And I just don't want to be like, I just want to relax and kind of hang out. So my mind is in a little different mode, and little things like that usually pass right by. Like they go over them. And I'm like, well, I got notes. I want to talk about this, blah, 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 blah. And little things like that go past me until the next week. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I thought that was that didn't add up. But I'm a little quicker, obviously on the H2O. Once I'm properly hydrated, you know what I mean? And that's the key. Stay hydrated. You get maximum performance out of your brain. Trading to throw communists out of helicopters. My T-shirt I wore at Charlottesville back in the day. Back in the days. Still fits. Look at that. Look. Anyway. What are we doing? Like coming up on 90 minutes, an hour, 25. All the shit I wanted to fucking do today. I tried to get a haircut. Fucking barbershop was full. Who goes to a fucking barbershop on fucking Monday? Like, what is wrong with you people? You know what I mean? The whole idea of having Monday off is so I could do shit and nobody would be there except whatever. I didn't get anything done I wanted to get today. Other than to do this, which is to point out that you can get a ledger at Walmart. That eventually the US dollar is going to be like the Venezuelan bolivar. That, you know, they're going to, I think in the next week, they're going to be like a mega crash of the stock market. And I mean a mega crash. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it kind of looks that way. And they're going to blame it on Donald Trump, MAGA, white people, Republicans. And you're going to see a lot more stories about black and brown people hunting down white people and attacking them. And it'll be horrible shit. I know, you know, it's the goal, of course, is to get either the white people to beg to burn the Constitution or the brown people to demand you burn the Constitution and the white people don't complain. But I don't think that's going to happen right now. You know, the only other Negro with balls is Clarence Thomas, and I don't think he's dying yet. Our man on the Supreme Court still keeping the pimp hand strong. So, base snakes. Did I get my Powerball? No, it is. I know it's around $1 billion. Yeah, no, I didn't. Did I get it? No, I got to remember to do it. When does it go off? I don't even remember. I made money off that back in the day when it was out, way back in the day when it was $250 million, like in the 90s. And there was no tickets in New York and New Jersey. It was only in Connecticut. And I knew this guy who was a loan shark who wanted those tickets. And he wanted somebody to go drive his car up there and get them, except the guy was drunk. And the guy had me, oh, it's too late now. Now, and then I'm out. $1 billion in fiat I don't have. But so I drove this guy up there because he was drunk. He's like, if I crash this guy's car, he's going to kill me, which the guy would have killed him. So we went up there, and this was like in the 90s. I'm talking about 95 or 7 or whatever. He bought a bunch of tickets, and you know, I just drove him back. And I got the idea, because the thing wasn't going off for a couple of days, that I should go back myself, because came back, and I went to get my haircut in the morning. And the barber bought all the fucking tickets off me for double the price. And I thought, I'll double my money. And so I did that. I ended up doing that. And I made I think back then I made like $1,000 in 2 days or 2.5 days, which is more than you can make in a week driving a taxi. And everybody knew. But the original guy I drove up there, the loan shark's buddy, vanished. And the loan shark fucking put me in a chair and was like, where's Joey D? And I'm like, I don't know. I swear. He's like, where the fuck is Joey D? And like alone in the room with this guy with like one of his hands was like two of my fucking hands. And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't fucking seen him. He goes, I heard you made money. You're a smart kid. I like you. But I want to know where the fuck Joey D is, because he was afraid that they're all paranoid, degenerate gamblers. And he thought for sure Joey D had the winning ticket and he was going to lose out on this $250,000. But it ended up the person who won was in Ohio. And Joey D got to live. But there was a couple of very unpleasant moments where I was put in a room and, I wasn't 100% sure I was going to get out of that room in one piece. But that was way back in the days in the 90s. Fun times with street adventures and all sorts of kooky people. But the pursuit of fiat, man, the pursuit of these fucking slavery coupons will make people do all kinds of crazy shit, right? They murder fucking dindus. They go into a fucking store to shoot somebody over $96 fucking dollars. That's like, it costs more to fucking process their fucking paperwork down at the police station than they're ever going to get. You got to try and avoid that, and most people do. Like, that's a very small segment of the population that's subject to that. But it's this constant money printing is going to catch up with us sooner or later. And I'm just telling you, don't be the last one fucking left holding a bag of fucking useless paper. That seems like really fucking good advice. It's not radical. It's 100% fucking legal. You don't have to join a group to do it. You can do it a lot at once. You can do it little by little. And when this thing falls apart, and it will fall apart, you'll be in good shape. If you got to pass it down to your kids, pass it down to your fucking kids. You want something you want to pass down to your kids that can't be taxed or fucking confiscated. You know what I mean? Or you won't lose the fucking value of it over time. It's Bitcoin and only Bitcoin. Anyway, all right. So it's 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes. I said mean things. I showed whatever dumb fucking screen shares. Kanye thing is still whatever. That Kanye. Fuck Kanye. What did we do? We swung the ban hammer on a bunch of feds. What more could you fucking ask on a Monday evening? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Anyway, Groiped and Pillpulled, who's probably was one of the other two accounts, probably the same guy, because I don't really think they would send 4 guys. I think it's one guy just with multiple accounts. Yeah, but Judas Fly Shy and whatever secret messaging methods you have, tell VQ that he has to come. Listen, he's got to come and he's got to bend the knee. He's got to say, listen, I was wrong and I'm sorry. And then I'll let him stay. But if not, he shows up, boom, ban hammer. There can be no mercy. We cannot show favoritism. You know what I mean? If you're wrong, you admit you're wrong, because it isn't that I'm offended. I'm not fucking offended. But there's people in the chat, I want the chat to be cozy. I want people to get along. But if you say something stupid, you got to admit you said something stupid. If you said something wrong, it's something wrong, If you can't do that, why would you even be here? What would be your purpose of fucking being here? What would be your purpose of being here? Anyway, all right, 93 minutes, 93 fucking minutes, 93 minutes, no alcohol, just powered by water, battling with the feds. And, my tax fucking dollars at work. My tax dollars at work. So I didn't win $1 billion, but if I did, whatever, I don't know. I don't know what I would do with it. I would hang out. I would unban all the feds. Okay, listen, I'm going to say goodnight. What is it? It's actually early. It's only 10:38 here, but fuck it. I got shit to do tomorrow. Everybody, Judas Fly Shy, Groiped and Pillpulled, who I think you're a cop. Cuchalongo, who I know has been around for a while. Virgil Doc, Purple Heart, everybody listening in the background. Everybody's going to listen tomorrow, whatever. Catching the show in the reruns. Thanks for stopping by. Most of us come here to laugh at my foolish rants. Yes, indeed. It's all a comedy show. It's all fun and games until someone's starving and homeless. I'll leave you with that.